Je m'appelle Jacob. Je suis en la 7e année, j'ai 13 ans et je suis allée à l'école Laura Secord.
My name is Jackie Lavoie, and I am currently the principal at L'École Bilingue Elementary. The passion of learning a second language and the French Immersion program allows students who don't have French as a first language to learn so that you come out as a bilingual person having lived in the language.
At Laura Secord, there's l'immersion tardive, or late French immersion, which I'm in. You do everything that those kids in early French immersion do, and by the time you guys go into high school, you're all on the same level. Having to speak in French makes you want to increase your vocabulary so you can say more things in French. The first little bit, you're like, oh, this is really, really difficult, like doing math in French, everything's in French. And by the end of the year, you're doing fine.
Je m'appelle Nora, je suis en 4e année et je vais à l'école bilingue. It's good to know 2 languages.
Bonjour, l'école bilingue. Je m'appelle Valentina et je m'appelle Catherine. Et voici les annonces pour aujourd'hui, mardi le 16 avril.
So the early French immersion entry point is kindergarten, or it could also be grade 1. In elementary, we also have late French immersion, which is at the grade 6 level. You learn by doing and experiencing. It's all in French, so it's that living, and you're not just learning through a textbook. You're actually doing the activities. And all those students then move on to high school, where they will complete grade 12 with a double dogwood.
Alors, bonjour, je m'appelle George Thorderson. Je suis étudiant en 12e année à l'école Vantec. Je suis partie du programme d'immersion à cette école, partie du programme d'immersion précoce. I can kind of remember choosing to continue in French when I reached grade 7 because I was partially a little bit worried about the idea of I would just lose this skill. I work at a French restaurant in the city, so if we're talking about the program, that's definitely been a good skill to have, being able to speak French. It's one of the most important parts, I think, of like the French immersion journey, I guess, is really using the French that you learn at school outside of school. Made me a little bit more proud about something that I can do. Because this is my last year, it's been like, you know, a year really dominated by like universities, like both applying, selections, having the right courses, the right marks for those kinds of things, all that kind of stuff. A lot of us in the immersion program this week, actually, we're writing our DELF assessments, which is going to be an international program, international certification of French competency. And it goes without saying that I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't speak French, if I hadn't done 12 years of study in French in order to eventually go out and get those certifications.
Moi, je m'appelle Aliette, je suis étudiant de Vantec, je suis en 12e, je suis en programme d'immersion, et je fais l'immersion depuis toujours, alors immersion précoce. I run the Francophone club at Vantec. It was started at the beginning of this year, and we have a lot of card games that we circle through. And it's not so much about, oh, the game is in French, and more so about speaking French outside of school and being able to chit-chat with your friends in French and gossip. My internal monologue is definitely still in English, but it's not void of French, especially like when we were in France. Obviously, I was thinking more in French then, and like, when you're thinking about conversations you're gonna have, if I know they're gonna be in French, I think about them in French. That's when you really open yourself up to like fully learning and appreciating the language. And so Francophone, I think, really sort of taught me that like I can start a club, I can run this thing, I can lead this thing. Are you late immersion?
I'm late immersion.
Oh wow, but toi tu parles français genre fantastique. For me, it's the confidence I've gained. You do get things out of French immersion that aren't just the language. And I think that's so important to consider when you're thinking about joining for 8th grade. Just to see people who are excited to continue with this language in the same way that I am excited about it now is great, because I wasn't excited about it the whole time, and I wish I had been.
Mon nom est Lisa Edwards. Je travaille à Vantec, à Vancouver. I think it's always important that we challenge ourselves and that we look for opportunities to grow. And so in the French Immersion program, you're gonna have lots of opportunities to grow. And we know that in terms of, brain health for the rest of your life, if you learn a second language at a young age, that's going to help you when you're in your 80s and 90s. So that's super important.
Once you separate the idea of French as an academic language, or once you decide that okay, school does not equal French, or French does not equal school, that's when you really open yourself up to fully learning and appreciating the language. I know for me that happened in grade 10. We went to a workshop at SFU, and it was the first time I was oh, I'm just sitting here having a fun conversation with someone in French, and I can have that conversation in French. And once I realized that it wasn't just a class, it was oh my God, okay, wow, I am bilingual. When did that happen?